Warships have played a pivotal role for military forces all around the world for decades. Warships are massive ships equipped with a wide array of weapons that take part in maritime warfare. These ships are also used by military forces around the world to show their might and assert their dominance on their waters. However, being available worldwide, you'd have thought about who holds the most power on the high seas. This level of power links to one crucial asset: the massive warships. These vessels are not just quick and versatile, but they come equipped with significant firepower too. The more a country has, the stronger its dominance gets in the vast ocean areas. However, Navy forces refer to these battle machines as destroyers. A destroyer is a fast, maneuverable, and long-endurance warship that's primarily designed to serve the purpose of escorting larger vessels in a convoy or in a carrier battle group. In the earlier stages of their services, destroyers were used as a defense against torpedo boats and were known as TBDs, or torpedo boat destroyers. They were fast, large, and armored torpedo boats that were designed specially to destroy adversary torpedo boats. Before the World War II era, destroyers were very light vessels and had a very low withstanding capacity for unattended ocean operations, so to fulfill those operations, several destroyers would operate together. However, after the war, the size of these destroyers grew drastically. The Allen and Sumner-class destroyers came with a displacement of up to 2,200 tons, whereas the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers have a displacement of 9,600 tons. Additionally, the arrival of guided missiles enabled the destroyers to take on the surface combatant roles that were earlier fulfilled by cruisers and battleships. The addition of the guided missiles into these destroyers has resulted in the creation of guided missile destroyers, which were more capable of independent operations. The advent and development of the destroyer were linked to the invention of the self-propelled torpedo in the 1860s. Navy forces had the potential to destroy a superior enemy battle fleet using steam launchers to fire torpedoes. Fast boats with torpedoes were built and were known as torpedo boats and became a threat to the large enemy ships near enemy coastlines. Previously, the threat of a torpedo boat attack on a battle fleet was considered to be dangerous only while at anchor. However, as faster and longer-range torpedo boats were developed, the threat drastically increased. To tackle this threat, other more heavily armed boats, known as the cachet, were developed, which were then used to escort the battle fleet at sea. Starting in the 21st century, capable destroyer warships have become the global standard surface combat ships. Furthermore, modern-day destroyers have an equal weight with the cruisers used in World War II. However, these destroyers carry a lot more firepower than back then. Destroyers that are currently in use are also capable of carrying nuclear-tipped cruise missiles and are able to launch them at rapid speeds. They also come with a displacement of 9,200 tons and have 90 missiles in their weaponry suite. Guided missile destroyers are destroyers that mainly use guide missiles as their weaponry to engage with enemies. These destroyers are capable of providing anti-aircraft warfare screening for the Navy fleet. These destroyers also come equipped with large missile magazines like vertical launch cells. Some guided missile destroyers come with integrated weapon systems, such as the Aegis Combat System, and may be often used in ballistic missile defense and anti-missile roles. Typically, guided missile destroyers are also multi-role vessels that are capable of carrying out anti-surface operations with surface-to-surface missiles and naval guns, and also underwater anti-submarine warfare operational weaponry as well. Guided missiles have played a significant role in helping the United States to project its power among the vast ocean. The Arleigh Burke-class ships are among the largest destroyers built in the United States. This class was designed with a new large waterplane area hull form, characterized by a wide bow, which significantly improves seakeeping ability and permits high speed in high sea states. The class's design incorporates stealth techniques, such as angled surfaces rather than traditional vertical, which make the ship more difficult to detect by radar. The Arleigh Burke class are multi-mission ships. They're armed with numerous combat systems such as anti-aircraft missiles, land attack missiles, ship-to-ship missiles, and an anti-submarine warfare or ASW system. The missiles are stored in and fired from vertical launching cells, or the VLS cells. The Arleigh Burke class destroyer is also equipped with the Aegis Combat System, which combines information from the ship's sensors to display a coherent image of the surroundings and environments, thus guiding the weapons to targets using advanced tracking and fire control. The standard missiles are known as the SM-2MR-ER and SM-6, and they're used to provide the area with air defense. However, these missiles also have a secondary purpose and are capable of being used for playing the role of anti-ship missiles. The SM-2 uses semi-active radar homing, or the SAR system, to intercept up to 3 targets simultaneously. The SM-6 provides over-the-horizon defense. The main radar on the Arleigh Burke class destroyers differs from traditional mechanically rotating radar. Instead, the Aegis system on the ship uses the SPY-1D passive electronically scanned array system, which allows for the continuous tracking of targets and the surrounding area. The system's computer allows the centralization of the previously separate target and tracking functions. However, despite being a fully capable destroyer, the United States Navy's ZUMWALT-CLASS destroyers leave the Arleigh Burke class destroyers far behind. One of the most recognizable guided missile destroyers of the United States is the USS ZUMWALT, or DDG-1000. The ZUMWALT is the leading ship of the ZUMWALT-CLASS. This class is a class of 3 destroyers that are designed as multi-mission stealth ships with a primary focus on land attacks. The class is primarily designed to provide naval gunfire support to the Navy and other secondary roles of surface and anti-aircraft warfare. The ships are classified as destroyers, but are much larger than any other destroyers or cruisers in the United States Navy, measuring 600 feet in length and 80.7 feet abeam. This class of destroyer has a displacement of 14,564 tons. They're also powered by 2 Rolls-Royce MT-30 gas turbine driving Curtiss-Wright electric generators and 2 Rolls-Royce RR-4500 turbine generators. This class has an integrated electric propulsion, or IEP system, that can send electricity from its turbo generators to the elective drive motors or weapons, the Total Ship Computing Environment Infrastructure, or TSCEI, automated firefighting systems, and automated piping rupture isolation. The ship has multiple stealth capabilities, coming with a radar cross-section similar to that of a small fishing boat, despite its large size. Originally, the Navy only planned to build 32 destroyers. However, that number was eventually reduced to 24 and then further to only 7. This reduction was due to the high cost of the new and experimental technologies that were to be used on the ship. In December of 2005, the funding of the program was approved to be continued, and the Navy was allotted only the money that was needed to begin the construction of the destroyer as a demonstrator for the new technology. The ZUMWALT-class destroyers come with an Advanced Gun System, or AGS. The gun system is a 155mm naval gun, 2 of which are installed on each ship of the class. The Advanced Gun System contains an advanced 155mm gun and its long-range land attack projectile, a rocket fired from the AGS. The rocket comes with a warhead attached to it that has an 11-kilogram bursting charge, and also has a small circular error probable of 50 meters. The advanced gun system is capable of covering ranges of around 150 kilometers. The fully automatic storage system also has the capacity to store up to 750 rounds. The barrel of the gun is water-cooled to prevent overheating and allow a fast rate of fire of 10 rounds per minute. Using the Mercy, or multiple round simultaneous impact firing technique, the firepower combined from both the turrets makes each of the ZUMWALT-class destroyers capable of an initial strike power firepower, equivalent to about 12 conventional M198 field guns. The ZUMWALT-class also utilizes ballast tanks to lower themselves into the water and gain a low-key profile in combat situations. This class of destroyers also uses an integrated power system, which is a modern version of a turbo-electric drive. The IPS is a dual system, with each half consisting of a gas turbine prime mover directly coupled to an electrical generator, providing power for an electric motor that drives the propeller shaft. This system is integrated because the turbo generators provide electrical power for all ship systems, not just the drive motors. The system provides much more available electrical power than is available in other types of ships. These ships also come with a common display system that's nicknamed KEDs. The crew members operate KEDs through trackballs and specially designed button panels with a touchscreen option for the interface. This technology enables the sailors to keep an eye on multiple weapon systems or sensors, hence saving manpower and allowing it to be steered from the ops center easily. According to reports, even though the ship is much larger than an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, the radar cross-section is similar to a fishing boat. In order to improve the detection of the ship in non-combat situations by other vehicles, the Navy's planning to add onboard reflectors in the ships to improve the design's radar visibility. Furthermore, the ZUMWALT-CLASS ships are also equipped with dual sonar systems that are completely controlled by a highly automated advanced computer system. These sonars are used to detect mines and submarines. However, despite having various undersea sensors, the ZUMWALT-CLASS ships don't come with a torpedo tube, which means that they highly rely on helicopters to destroy any undersea targets that they might pick up. Additionally, the Mark 57 peripheral vertical launch system on the ship was designed to prevent any intrusion into the center space of the hull, while significantly reducing the risk of losing the entire missile battery or the ship in the event of an explosion. The original DD-21 design would have accommodated between 117 to 128 VLS cells. However, the final DDG-1000 design provides only 80 cells. ZUMWALT uses Mark 57 peripheral vertical launching system cells, which are larger than the cells found on most American destroyers. The majority of the ship's features had been developed under the DD-21 program, or the 21st Century Destroyer Program. The initial fund needed for the DDG-1000 was included in the Nation Defense Authorization Act of 2007. In February of 2008, a $1.4 billion contract was awarded to an American company named Bath Iron Works. A year later, the full production of the DDG-1000 was officially started on the 11th of February in 2009. A construction timetable was set up for the ship to be delivered in April 2013. However, in 2012, the planned completion and delivery of the vessel had been delayed to 2014. In January 2014, the ZUMWALT began to prepare for her heavy weather trials to see and evaluate how the body and features of the ship would react to high and furious winds, seas, and harsh weather conditions. The ships came with an inverted bow that allows them to pierce waves and have a tumble-home hull configuration that reduces their radar cross-sections. The tumble-home hull was reintroduced in the ZUMWALT-class destroyers. The hull form was originally revealed in modern steel battleship designs by the French. The ship went through a wide array of tests, which included lateral and vertical accelerations and pitch and roll demonstrations. Further tests included fuel onloading, testing data centers, propulsion events, X-band radar evaluations, and mission systems activation to finalize the integration of electronics. On the 7th of December in 2015, the ship was delivered from Bath Iron Works for sea trials to allow the Navy and contractors to test the vessel under rigorous conditions and determine whether the ZUMWALT was ready to join the fleet as an active destroyer. On December 12, 2015, during sea testing, the ZUMWALT responded to a United States Coast Guard call for assistance for a fishing boat captain who was experiencing a major medical emergency about 75 kilometers away from Portland, Maine. The Coast Guard was unable to hoist the captain due to the deck conditions, so the crew operating the ZUMWALT used their 11-meter rigid-hulled inflatable boat to transport the captain to the destroyer, from which he was taken to the shore by a United States Coast Guard helicopter. However, in September of 2006, a water leak was detected in the auxiliary motor drive oil system of the ship, and thus it was sent to be repaired. On the 7th of December 2015, the ZUMWALT started her sea trials to join the Pacific Fleet of the United States. However, it wasn't until October 2016 that the ship was finally commissioned in Baltimore. However, the ZUMWALT was still malfunctioning, as on the 21st of November in 2016, the ship lost propulsion in her port shaft while on her way to her home port in San Diego. It was reported that water had leaked in 2 of the 4 bearings that connected the ZUMWALT's port and starboard advanced induction motors to the drive shafts. This caused both of the shafts to fail, and the ship struck the lock walls in the canal, which resulted in cosmetic damage. When the ship arrived in San Diego, the leak was revealed to be through the lubrication cooling system. In April of 2019, the ZUMWALT began its journey from San Diego for its first operational deployment in the Pacific. The operation included a visit to Alaska, during which the observing teams were able to conduct stability trials in stormy seas. In 2020, the Navy received the last batch of the ships, and they were to be subjected to undergo tests before they entered into active service. And this brings us to the end of our video for today. Hopefully, you enjoyed it and learned something. Now, as always, don't be afraid to show us your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and clicking that bell icon so you're always notified as soon as we drop more content. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.